Hello and welcome to News 9. I am Shubhayan Chakravarti, joined by Nikhil Narayan to discuss the big match in IPL 2022 between Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan Royals. The match promises to be a thrilling encounter given how the two teams have played so far, and we will build up on the match here. It's a big match between DC, Rishabh Pant led DC versus Sanju Samson led Rajasthan Royals. Latest from the Wankhede that is coming in is from the toss. Delhi Capitals have won the toss and have opted to field first. The tradition continues, Nikhil, and Sanju Samson has once again lost the toss.
I was hoping that RR will win the toss. The only reason being that they have won all their 4 matches, batting first. And maybe Sanju Samson would have won the toss, broken the trend and batted first. Again, he's lost the toss. Delhi has won the toss. Again, they're fielding. I mean, the record is now reaching unprecedented levels. It has crossed superstition, logic, everything. And chasing is no longer an outright advantage.
Absolutely.
Batting first teams are catching up. Still, captains are not taking any chance at all.
Absolutely, and when it comes to the playing 11, both DC and Rajasthan Royals have gone unchanged into the match. Delhi Capitals' head coach Ricky Ponting is not available in the dugout in today's game because one of his family members have tested positive for COVID. Delhi Capitals' struggle with COVID-19 continues. Ricky Ponting will not be available. He's isolating for 5 days, so let's hope everything goes well for Ponting and Delhi Capitals and there are no more positive cases in that DC camp. Nikhil, two big teams, Delhi Capitals, Rajasthan Royals, DC. We saw what they did in the last match. Rajasthan Royals have been playing good cricket in this tournament so far. So what are you expecting from this game?
I'm expecting to see a good match at the lowest scoring venue amongst all grounds. Wankhede, despite it has the shortest boundaries, is not the highest scoring ground amongst the 4 venues. I'm expecting a very close contest and a clash between Delhi's top order and Rajasthan's bowling unit, world-class bowling unit. That is the contest I'm interested in seeing today.
Delhi Capitals' batting unit, especially the top order, consisting of the likes of David Warner and Prithvi Shaw. Rishabh Pant is there as well, whereas Rajasthan's bowling attack is led by Trent Bolt. Then they have the spin duo of Ashwin and Chahal as well. But let's take a look at Delhi's it's written likely 11, but it's the same. They have not made any changes, so we'll correct that graphics. Rishabh Pant's captaincy, Prithvi Shaw, David Warner, all eyes will be on them, right, Nikhil?
Absolutely, absolutely brilliant, both of them. Prithvi Shaw is the highest scorer. Strike rate is 170 plus. Warner 350s in 4 matches. Strike rate 150 plus. Both of them have given 4 brilliant starts in the last 4 matches for the Capitals in the power play. They're striking at close to 10 and over, Shubhayan, in the power play. It is way higher than any other opening pair in the tournament. So by far the most destructive opening pair in the tournament, and they are capable of taking and almost finishing the match in the first 6. If you score 6 overs, 70-80, the platform is set then.
Absolutely, and we saw what Prithvi Shaw and David Warner did in the last match. Of course, the middle order will have the likes of Rishabh Pant, Sarfaraz Khan, Lalit Yadav. Rohman Powell needs to fire now. It's been due now. Akshar Patel, Shardul Thakur, they're 2 all-rounders, and the pace attack of Khalil Ahmed, Mustafizur Rahman, and then the spinner, the special spinner Kuldeep Yadav. How impressive has been these 3, Mustafizur, Khalil and Kuldeep?
Kuldeep Yadav, for me, the bowler of the tournament rather, although he is not the highest wicket taker of the tournament, but just the way he's made a comeback, absolutely brilliant. Kuldeep Yadav, he's the leading wicket taker for the Capitals. Kul is back, Chai is back, therefore Kulcha is back. He's picking wickets in the middle overs. He's controlling the flow of runs. Khalil Ahmed, you mentioned, 10 wickets, very economical, very impressive in the death overs with his left arm. And Mustafizur is a world-class bowler.
True.
Again, not conceding runs in the power play, picking wickets. So they also have a decent bowling. There's Akshar Patel also, who was very good in the last match. He made a good comeback, 4 overs, 10 runs, 2 wickets, 14 dot balls, no boundaries in that match.
True.
So, a good bowling unit. I'm just worried about DC's, lower middle order.
Lower middle order is a point of concern, and let's see whether DC break that hoodoo of their lower middle order not scoring runs. Let's take a look at Rajasthan Royals' playing 11 as well, because there are some big names, especially their bowling attack. But we'll start with the man of the tournament so far, Jos Buttler. What a player, what a form he's in.
Absolutely, one of the most destructive players in limited overs cricketing history, I would say. His strike rate in ODI cricket is the second highest in the world amongst all batsmen. I think Russell is at number 1
Yeah.
amongst proper batsmen, which means he's at number 1. He's an absolute, absolute legend of the limited overs game.
True.
Jos Buttler, 2 centuries, 2 half centuries, 375 runs, scoring at a strike rate of above 150. I mean, he and Shimron Hetmyer have scored almost 60% at 3/5 of the total runs RR has scored in this tournament.
Wow.
That is absolutely phenomenal. But it also shows that others haven't yet, fired. It's
Sanju
time.
Samson,
Sanju Samson, Padikkal need to make more contribution. Especially Samson. Samson can win matches for them single-handedly, which he's shown in the last couple of seasons. Since he's been made captain, his strike rate has gone down a tad. But that happens. That's a trend across.
But last season he was phenomenal.
Last time he was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he was scored 484 runs at a high strike rate of around 137. I think Samson now needs to spend more time on the crease. That's the only thing he needs to do.
Absolutely, and all eyes will be on Karun Nair and Riyan Parag as well, the two players who haven't fired at all for Rajasthan Royals. Devdutt Padikkal has given starts, but again the big score is missing from his name as well. Then Ravichandran Ashwin, Yuzvendra Chahal, arguably the best spin duo of IPL 2022. Then they have a power play trump in Trent Bolt. Obed McCoy did extremely well in the last match, finishing the game as a death over specialist. And then Prasidh Krishna, good side, Nikhil. This
brilliant side, brilliant bowling unit. Ashwin in the middle overs, Bolt power play, McCoy death over fast bowler, Krishna fast bowler in the power play, and Chahal, Chahal is middle overs, controlling, picking wickets, 17 wickets in the tournament. All bases covered, great bowling unit.
Absolutely great bowling unit. And those who are joining live just now, Delhi Capitals have won the toss and they have, as usual, opted to field first. So that is the latest coming from Wankhede. And of course, both DC and RR have gone with unchanged playing 11s. So we'll see the same playing 11s for both the teams. Delhi Capitals affected with COVID-19. They will miss Ricky Ponting in that dugout after one of his family members tested positive. So he's, as a precautionary measure, Ricky Ponting, despite testing negative twice, will isolate for 5 days. And yes, Ricky Ponting will not be available in that Delhi Capitals' dugout. And Nikhil, let's take a look at the X Factor players as well, because we are building up with so many big name players in both the camp, be DC or RR. So the X Factor players will be very crucial, and both are captains. Sanju Samson, you said Jos Buttler and Hetmyer are scoring majority of runs, but when Sanju Samson gets going, I think Rajasthan Royals will be a different beast to play against.
Absolutely. Sanju Samson needs to fire, because now if he does and RR win this match, they move to the top of the points table, and then only 6 to 7 matches are left. We are at the halfway stage, and it will give them a massive boost going into the business end of the tournament. True. One of the most destructive, most talented Indian batsmen in the domestic circuit. We all know Rohit Sharma wants him to go to Australia with him. Middle over strike rate is touching 145. Sanju Samson is a gifted cricketer. He can single-handedly win new matches. Time has come for him to raise his game now, rise to the occasion. RR is winning without his contributions. But now, you cannot leave every match to Jos Buttler and Shimron Hetmyer.
Absolutely.
It's time for the captain to rise to the occasion.
Absolutely. He did play an interesting cameo in the last match, but the big scores that are missing from his name, and everyone, be it RR supporter or Indian team supporter, wants Sanju Samson to bat in full flow. Let's take a look at the X Factor player from Delhi Capitals camp, and he's another captain and another wicket keeper. You talked about Sanju Samson's ability of winning matches single-handedly, but what about his caliber?
One of the most destructive batsmen in world cricket. We all know what he did in Australia, across formats, against England at home after that. Rishabh Pant is, again, very much like Sanju Samson, very gifted cricketer.
True.
A destructive batsman in the lower order, death strike rate of 200 in the IPL.
Maybe Nikhil, the captaincy pressure, I think that's forcing Rishabh Pant to curb his attacking instincts.
Yes, it is. It is a trend we've seen across captains that when they try to become more mature. My only sort of counter argument to that is mature. And listen, mature means playing the situation.
True.
It does not necessarily mean you slow down. If you can play if the wickets fall, a mature innings is you resurrect the innings, build. I play the role of an anchor. if you need to up the ante, then a mature innings is to go all out.
Yeah.
So that is maturity, understanding the
what
situation.
Mayank Agarwal is doing for Punjab. He's getting out cheaply, but he's giving those quick starts.
Absolutely. So you play the situation, that is maturity, not necessarily slow down the strike rate. That is not maturity. So there's a confusion with the term. So I think Rishabh Pant, needs to now play his natural game. They need him at the top of the order. Shaw and Warner have been brilliant, but Shaw and Warner cannot produce those starts in every match. And given that the lower middle order is weak, Rovman Powell has failed in every match he has played. Lalit Yadav, Akshar Patel, so you can't expect them to win you matches single-handedly, but Rishabh Pant can. It's time for him to fire.
Absolutely. Whether Sanju Samson and Rishabh Pant will fire today or not, let's see. It remains to be seen. And drop down your comments below as well. What are you expecting from Rishabh Pant and Sanju Samson, two blockbuster wicket keepers in both the camps, Rajasthan Royals and Delhi Capitals. Nikhil, you just touched upon Prithvi Shaw and David Warner. Let's take a look at a very interesting key battle there, because they have a sort of nemesis in form of Trent Bolt, and what a sensational record he has against Prithvi Shaw. We'll take a look at David Warner's battle against Bolt as well, but firstly Shaw.
Yeah, 5 innings, 3 dismissals, 18 balls, 3 strike rate of 6. Not conceding runs, restricting the right-hander. See, the thing is, when a left-armer bowls over the wicket, Shubhayan, to a right-hander batsman, there's a blind spot, right? Yeah. So, and that the angle means there's a blind spot, and Prithvi Shaw doesn't know whether the ball is going to go straight or is going to come in, and that's the problem. Yeah. Bolt can do both the things. So that surprise element, that is going to play, havoc with Prithvi Shaw's mind. I'm getting a feeling this battle is again going to be won by Bolt today.
Oh, that's a big call. An informed Prithvi Shaw against an informed Trent Bolt. That's one of the key battles. But Trent Bolt has a great record against Prithvi Shaw's opening partner as well. It's a sort of a trans-Tasman rivalry between the two. Trent Bolt against David Warner. So that's also one very interesting battle. And we'll take a look at the numbers as well. There you go. 45 balls, 38 runs, 2 dismissals, strike rate 84. Trent Bolt clearly has an edge there.
Clearly, like he's dominated Shaw, he's also dominated Warner. Not many bowlers, can boast of conceding less than a run a ball against Warner. Bolt is one of them. So it's interesting because with Shaw you can understand with the angle, but with Warner, a left armer over the wicket, I expected Warner to do better in terms of strike rate against Bolt. But again, Bolt has this ability to swing the new ball, which makes him a very dangerous proposition in the power play. Warner is in great form, 350s, 4 matches. Bolt is bowling well, one of the best power play bowlers in IPL history, especially last 3 editions. This is going to be a fascinating battle, Shubhayan.
Maybe we'll see the slip cordon being packed up against David Warner when Trent Bolt takes the ball. But yes, these are the 2 very interesting key battles. But one of the battle that will also intrigue the fans is between the orange cap holder and one of the racers for that purple cap, Kuldeep Yadav versus Jos Buttler. Jos Buttler has somewhat struggled against Kuldeep Yadav, but will Rishabh Pant take the risk and send Kuldeep Yadav up front?
Given what Jos Buttler is doing with the Pacers and given the dimensions of the very, very small ground at the 1K day, it is an interesting, it is the only way perhaps to stop Jos Buttler, along with maybe trying Akshar Patel. But Kuldeep Yadav, because he has a good head-to-head, it is a risky option, because if your best bowler gets tonged for 3 or 4 sixes in the first over and Buttler is in great form, then his confidence goes down for the middle overs. And then you're risking that. So it's interesting whether Pant will take that punt or not, but you have to stop Jos Buttler somehow.
Absolutely, and these are the some key battles we are discussing because of the blockbuster match between Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan Royals. We'll take another look at one of the other key battles from this match, and this is also going to be very interesting. Ravichandran Ashwin against David Warner. He has scored some sort of runs, but those 5 dismissals, I think that will push Ravichandran Ashwin to take the ball up front and say, I'm going to bowl to David Warner.
This could be an interesting option. There's the classic right arm off spinner against the left-hander taking the ball away. Warner has his problems against off spinners. 5 dismissals in 127 delivery. That's a good strike rate for Ashwin. He's only considered at a strike rate of 125. So Ashwin has had the wood over David Warner. this could be a very, like Kuldeep versus Buttler. This could also be an interesting option. Again, Ashwin has increasingly bowled in the middle overs. That's why he's reserved for. But this could be an interesting option against Warner.
But the battle will become very interesting if David Warner picks up a quick single and put Prithvi Shaw against Ravichandran Ashwin. That may cause a mayhem there at Wankhede.
You have to take such risks. That is the way it is.
Absolutely. So and that is what makes this battle between DC and RR so interesting. Two informed teams. Of course, DC have lost a few matches, but have shown character to bounce back every time they fall. But Rajasthan Royals, whereas they have a super solid squad and are looking really strong in this tournament so far. Nikhil, we'll take a look at the pitch as well. Wankhede track, you said it has the shortest of boundaries among all the 4 venues, but runs have been a bit tough to score in this ground.
Yeah, I mean, lately the Wankhede Stadium is gripping a bit. It's going to 8 spinners. Rishabh Pant has said a total of 150, 160 could be a winning target, which is quite a low target given the average par score in the tournament.
True.
But I think the wickets now, Shubhayan, because we've reached the halfway stage, have started to slow down.
Yeah.
And except for the Brabant Stadium, where the average score batting first is almost 200, we are seeing a lowering of the average first innings score in all the other venues. With Warner, Shaw and Buttler, I don't think that will happen. But I don't think it's going to be a 190 plus wicket today, unless one of these three fire. One of these three fire, then no ground is big. Not even the MCG, not even the Narendra Modi Stadium, not even no ground is big enough in the world then.
Absolutely, and interestingly, both the last 2 matches at the Wankhede has been won by a team batting first. So that also makes Rishabh Pant's decision to field first very interesting, right, Nikhil?
Absolutely, and this is like almost, it's, as I was saying at the beginning,
borderline superstition.
Borderline superstition, and teams are just, there might be some due, but now you know how to cope with due. You have world-class bowlers, but yet you are going to chase for. It's just that I think more than the due now, they want a target in mind and they want to chase it down. That's become a T20 mantra. But I'm 100% sure if Samson had won the toss, he would have batted first, given RR had won all the matches batting first.
Absolutely, but unfortunately, Sanju Samson's toss luck isn't helping him, and he has lost 5 out of 6 tosses so far, or 6 out of 7 tosses so far. So that's sort of the number Sanju Samson is enjoying at the moment when it comes to tosses in IPL 2022. Nikhil, we'll take a look at the battles. We took a look at the battles, the key composition, the weather, the pitch as well. But what are you expecting? Serious expectations from this match?
I'm expecting, DC has won the toss, they are fielding. I'm expecting RR to score 185. I'm expecting M to defend them comfortably, win by 25 runs. That's my prediction.
Nikhil has given a prediction, Rajasthan Royals to win by 25 runs. But all you guys who are watching, don't forget to subscribe to News9 Sports as well, because that is your one-stop destination for all things sports. We are putting regular videos when it comes to IPL, Indian cricket, or any other sporting action going on in the world. So News9 Sports is your one-stop destination. So don't forget to subscribe to that. And we'll take a quick look at the Fantasy 11 as well, because we have been building up Fantasy 11 guides, and that has been giving good points so far in this tournament. So Jos Buttler as captain, no brainer, Nikhil?
I mean, 2 centuries, 2 half centuries, 150 strike rate, destructive opener. There can be no debate over that, Shubhaya.
Absolutely. And then Sanju Samson, David Warner and Prithvi Shaw, you got to keep these 3, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Samson is the X-factor player. He can, win matches single-handedly. He's the playmaker at number 3 or 4. Warner, Shaw, the most destructive pair in the tournament. Last 4 matches, a strike rate of, 10 strike rate of around almost 180, which is 10 runs per over, which is absolutely brilliant by the opening pair. Rishabh Pant, again not fired like Samson, but we Rishabh Pant, again, you have to keep players who have the potential to single-handedly win you matches. Hitmeyer, we all know, the best finisher in the tournament, along with maybe Shivam Dubey. Hitmeyer striking at almost 250 in the death overs. Aksar, brilliant in the last match, game. 4 overs, 10 overs, 2 wickets. Livingstone's wicket he got. And then those bowlers, I mean, they select themselves, Shubhaya, don't
Absolutely. Trent Bolt, Khalil Ahmed giving that left arm angle for both DC and RR. Then you have the spin pairing of Kulcha, who have been ruling the purple cap charts as well. Chahal with 17 wickets and Kuldeep Yadav with 13. So an interesting battle. Both Kulcha will be up against each other as well. So that is also one of the battles to watch out for in the match, how Kulcha does fare against each other. But let's take a look at the points table as well, because this match DC versus RR may change a lot of things, lot of dynamics in the points table. If RR win today, they will jump to the top of the table, displacing Gujarat Titans there. So due to their superior run rate, Rajasthan Royals have a golden opportunity to move atop the points table, whereas Delhi Capitals, Nikhil, they will be desperate for those 2 points, right?
Absolutely. This is a more, it's a crucial match for Delhi Capitals, because to break into the top 4 amongst the big boys, they need to win today. A loss today places them, along with KKR, PBKS. One thing, Shubhayan, with that win of DC against Punjab Kings has done, DC has the best nut run rate in the tournament, and it's very high. It's 0.9. Yep. So if they can just keep winning more than the losing, they will qualify, because if it comes to net run rate, now it is very difficult for DC to go down. That is a very good net run rate because of that one emphatic win courtesy their bowlers and then Warner and Shaw. Therefore, I think it's a crucial match for DC. RR, of course, no doubt of motivation. If you win, you're topping the points table, going into the second half of the tournament. I mean, why not?
Absolutely, and that in that points table, you saw Mumbai Indians as well, losing 7 out of 7 so far, and that has been one of the biggest headlines of the tournament so far. Rohit Sharma and company losing all their 7 matches. That's the worst ever losing streak, plus worst ever start for any other any team in the history of IPL. Nikhil, you have already backed Rajasthan Royals to win this match. We have seen the playing 11s as well. You want to make some last moment changes, or are you sticking?
I'm backing Rajasthan Royals. I've given my reasons. I think the bowling is very strong and they will defend anything above 180.
But Nikhil, it's not going to be as easy as everyone is thinking, because the head-to-head battle between DC and RR, I mean 12 out of 12 in 24 matches, that's pretty equal.
Absolutely. I mean, this is as neck to neck as neck to neck can get. So also, if you see, since 2019, RR holds the advantage. It's 5-1 to RR. So
it's 5-1 to Delhi Capitals.
It's 5-1 to Delhi Capitals, sorry. Which means overall it's 12 all to RR, 12 all honours have been shared, but 5-1 to the Capitals, which is a massive skew since 2019, which is not surprising, because Delhi's transformation, Shubhayan, started from 2019, 2018, when they started making the playoffs, maybe in the final. So therefore, it's going to be interesting. DC has dominated, but remember, these are new teams after the mega auctions. These are not the old teams. And therefore, this year with RR, what they did in the auction, taking those 4 bowlers and with a strong top batting unit, I think RR just has the advantage over DC today.
RR has the advantage is what Nikhil is saying. Let us know whether you agree with Nikhil or not, whether you think Rajasthan Royals have the advantage over Delhi Capitals, or whether Delhi Capitals can pull off another win and move to 8 points in the points table. So that is the permutation and combination going into the match. If Rajasthan Royals win, they go top of the table. If Delhi Capitals win, they don't play catch-up game going into the second half of the tournament, and they will be comfortable with 8 points under their belt in 7 matches. So very interesting match coming up front. Let us know which team you are supporting, which player you are backing, which battle you are going to enjoy, you are expecting to enjoy in this match. And the latest from the Wankhede is that Delhi Capitals have won the toss and have opted to field first, and of course both Delhi Capitals and Rajasthan Royals have gone unchanged with their playing 11. So you are going to see the same playing 11s from both the sides. Of course, Ricky Ponting is not available as one of his family members have tested positive, and Ricky Ponting will have to isolate for 5 days as a precautionary measure. Delhi Capitals, we all know, have been suffering. And we all know that Delhi Capitals have been suffering from COVID-19 and a mini outbreak in their camp. A total of 7 members, including players like Mitch Marsh and Tim Seifert, have tested positive from their coaching staff. The head physio Patrick Farad, their team doctor Abhijit Salvi, they have also tested positive. Social media member team have tested positive, and now a member of Ricky Ponting's family have tested positive. It must be tough for DC players right now. We saw Lalit Yadav and all smiling in the last match, but inside it must be tough.
It is tough now that your coach and mentor is tested, his family member is tested positive. It is tough, also to field 12 players who are fit. There is uncertainty.
They travelled with a total of 15 members in the last match.
Imagine there's uncertainty. There is little bit of trauma. You don't know what the future is like, and also when you're a little worried, a little nervy, then you don't give your best on the field. But Delhi showed no such nerves in the last match against Punjab Kings. So again, I think a good performance today, and then if their players can recover, will really stand Delhi in good stead in the second half of the tournament.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up, let's quickly take a look at both the playing 11s, because Delhi Capitals, as we are talking, have been suffering with a COVID-19 outbreak, but they have managed 11 players, the same playing 11, Rishabh Pant, the captain, Prithvi Shaw, David Warner, their dynamic opening duo, then Sarfaraz Khan, Lalit Yadav, Rovman Powell needs to score runs, needs to put up a good performance there. The two all-rounders, Akshar Patel and Shardul Thakur. Shardul will have to bring up good bowling performances because he has been a bit expensive so far. Then you have Kuldeep Yadav, their spin magician, with 13 wickets, second in the purple cap table. Then Mustafizur Rahman and Khalil Ahmed, their pace duo. Of course, Khalil Ahmed has been mighty impressive in picking up wickets, whereas Mustafizur Rahman has been very restrictive and impressive in this Delhi Capitals bowling camp. Let's take a look at Rajasthan Royals' playing 11 as well. Of course, Jos Buttler. This is the fantasy guide. We'll take a look at the playing 11s. That's a bit of a mistake, but of course, under Sanju Samson's captaincy, you will have the opening duo of Jos Buttler and Devdutt Padikkal. Buttler being the orange cap holder, clear orange cap holder with 375 runs under his belt so far, 2 centuries, 2 half centuries, magnificent so far in this tournament. Then you have Karun Nair in that batting unit, needs to come up with a good performance because RR team is backing him at the moment. Then you have Shimran Hetmyer, fantastic striking at over 200 finishing matches for Rajasthan Royals. Then you have Riyan Parag, who has come under a bit of scrutiny given his poor run of form so far in this IPL. Then you have the spin duo of Ravichandran Ashwin and Yuzvendra Chahal, and then the pace trio of Trent Bolt, Prasidh Krishna and Obed McCoy. These are the two playing 11s from both DC and RR, and it promises to be a cracking contest. Nikhil have already said Rajasthan Royals are favourite, and of course Nikhil has backed Rajasthan Royals to win the match by a margin of 25 runs and around, and is sticking by his word. So let us know whether you are going with Nikhil's word, or you think Delhi Capitals can pull off a win in this match and move to 8 points in the table. Of course, Delhi Capitals will be fielding first after winning the toss, and we have Jos Buttler and Devdutt Padikkal opening the innings for Rajasthan Royals. Devdutt Padikkal has gone off to good starts, but again Jos Buttler has been the man for RR. Khalil Ahmed takes the new ball for Delhi Capitals, and that battle against Prithvi Shaw, of course, is going to define this match. His battle against Jos Buttler is going to define this match. Of course, we'll see plenty of bowlers up in the match later in the day, but that's the latest from this match. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to News9 Sports, because that is where we are bringing you all the content related to IPL or from other sporting action in the world as well. So News9 Sports is your one-stop destination. Thank you so much, Nikhil, for joining in. Thank you guys for watching.